Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Saturn in the 10th house in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Saturn placements in the houses, and they were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So, first thing up, well, Saturn in the 10th house is comparable to Saturn in Capricorn, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign with it. Saturn in Capricorn in the 10th house naturally can be different than Saturn in the zodiac sign Cancer in the 10th house. Now, another thing is Saturn astrology is connected with the career, has a connection with that, and you may, with Saturn posited in the 10th house in a natal chart, your career, may just be in business in general. It could be connected with politics or the government. You may be very serious regarding your career. Um, it could be where you're very disciplined and structured in career-related matters. You may gain some kind of notoriety or recognition for what you do at your vocation, your livelihood. It may be something 10th house related, such as dentistry, carpentry, accounting. Um, Saturn naturally is in its, it's in its accidental, dignity here in the 10th house, so it's a very good placement for Saturn by house. And you may be somebody that has tremendous business acumen, ability to run a business. And also, Saturn astrology is associated with laborious work in industry. So if you have Saturn in the 10th house in a natal chart, well, you may work very hard simply at your career, at a business. It could be, as far as your, attaining, you may work very hard to attain greater stature in life, social status. It could be doing something, political or government work. You may be, somebody, you know, um, the 10th house is the house that's connected with qualities that are difficult to suppress. So being industrious, hardworking, those things may be very difficult to hide from others, and that's actually beneficial, to matters if you need, ever in a position where you're going to have a possibility of a promotion, because naturally, superiors, I should say, supervisors, authority figures, love, people that have very good work ethic. Saturn is also connected with the father, older people, and authority figures. So if you have Saturn in the 10th house, well, those people, may be, very serious, consistent, structured, disciplined, responsible. They could be people that play an integral role in your livelihood in general, in your accomplishments, what you achieve, your reputation, public image, and it could be, as well. In your social status, what you're achieving as far as your stature in life, how you stack up with others, your standing in the community. Um, these are things, with those people may play an integral role in your life. And the thing about this too, Saturn astrology is also associated with our restrictions and limitations. So if you have Saturn posited in the 10th house in natal chart, well, there may be, even though this is in its, accidental dignity, of course, exceptional placement overall for Saturn by house, there still may be certain restrictions and limitations connected with one's career. It may be, matters connected with attaining some kind of notoriety or recognition, or their achievements. It could be, matters pertaining to the dominant parent, which is often the father, and also the success in general one may attain. It could be, there may be something limited or some delay, connected with money that one may be getting from publishing or advertising. Also, too, in terms of the social status, stature in life. This could be, somebody that may, at some point, experience, some kind of restriction or limitation in connection with that. Now, Saturn astrology is also connected with fears, its inhibitions, what we may worry about, apprehension. And if you have Saturn posited in the 10th house in the natal chart, well, there may be fear of some kind of just simply, it could be authority figures. Maybe authority figures, older people, the dominant parent again, which is often the father. Those people may put, maybe people that this person fears more so than most on average, and even attaining authority, maybe because of the responsibility that could be connected with it. Um, in matters, with structure, discipline, just career-related matters in general. Um, it could also be, having, a reputation being diminished, one's public image, being destroyed. Those are things that this person may fear more so than most people on average. And in some cases, there may actually be some fear of attaining some kind of notoriety or recognition or being in the limelight. Now, Saturn astrology is also associated with sorrow, despondency, sadness. So if you have Saturn posited in the 10th house in the natal chart, well, there may be some sorrow in some cases and matters, connected with one's reputation and public image. Maybe at some point this person's vilified or slandered. Um, it could be, matters that are connected, with the dominant parent, which is often the father, and also older people, authority figures. It could be something too. Maybe there's qualities that this person has that are difficult to suppress, is where there's sorrow as well. I would say especially if Saturn is in the same sign as the sign on the 10th house cusp. If Saturn, let's say Saturn is in Aquarius and someone has Saturn on the 10th house cusp, could be qualities that might be somewhat rebellious or eccentric or, bizarre, idiosyncratic behavior. Those things may cause some sorrow for this person on, as an example. And also matters that are pertaining to a social status and one's stature in life as well. There may be more sadness connected with that than most people on average. Now, Saturn in astrology is also associated with responsibility and responsibilities. So, this person may, look at responsibilities, take them on, more like in a very, consistent, structured, regimented manner. There may be responsibility that is associated with the government or political work or doing something with accounting, just maintaining a good public image and reputation, being able to have a certain social status and stature in life. This is where this person may, feel there's more responsibility for than most people. And also in career-related matters, this person may also just be in a career where there is generally more responsibility for him or her more so than most others, whether it's a management position or a person's an owner of a business, as some examples. Now, another thing about Saturn astrology, it's also connected, um, with chronic issues. So keep in mind the 10th house does correspond with the zodiac sign Capricorn. So there may be chronic issues associated with the knees, the bones, the hamstrings, the joints, the gallbladder. It may, figure more prominently or impact one's, life and one's career, their business, their livelihood. Um, if the person is trying to, suppress this, it may be difficult because the 10th house, is connected with, qualities, just in general things, that may be difficult to suppress, and that could include, chronic issues. It's more qualities connected with what's difficult to hold back. But I would say if somebody has, Saturn in the 10th house, if the person does have anything chronic, some chronic debilitation or illness, that may be difficult to keep hidden from others if the person is attempting to do so. And it can impact strongly one's social status and stature in life as well. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.